So we talked about Indiana at the top of the Big Ten. We talked about Illinois at the top of the Big Ten. Purdue is also another team at the top of the Big Ten, and they struggled a little bit on the road at Nebraska tonight. It went to overtime. The final score was 65-62. Zach Edey was good, but he was not like the Zach Edey that we've seen so far this season. I think what he finished with 17, 11, 7 blocks, but he only got 7 field goals.
11 and 17.
11, 17. Points. Yeah, 11 points, 17 boards, and 7 blocks. Nebraska did a pretty good job kind of slowing him down and figuring out what they wanted to get from Purdue offensively. Fletcher Lawyer, 22 points, had a big dunk. But beyond that, it was kind of an ugly game for Purdue. Goodman, are you worried about the Boilermakers? Was this just kind of a, road game, Big Ten? Nebraska just went into Creighton and beat them. Like, this isn't the Nebraska team we've seen the last 3 years. Like, they're going to be tough. What do you take away from this game?
Yeah, they made other people beat them, which is what you have to do if you're playing against Zach Edey, right? Double them. Make sure, again, you almost, to me, you almost got to front him and then have a guy behind him and just say, listen, we're going to let somebody else beat us. And
double team him before he catches it. Honestly,
right,
just double team him before he catches it.
Whatever you want to do, to me, if he gets the ball anywhere inside the foul line, it's kind of money right now. So I would rather see if Fletcher Lawyer or Braden Smith, one of those guys, whoever it is, can beat me. Other than Zach Edey, they did a good job of it. They slowed the game down. They made it ugly, which is what Nebraska can do and has done. They did it to Creighton as well. And yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not worried about Purdue, but Purdue's not going to run the table or anything crazy in the Big Ten. Like, they're going to fight to finish in the top few spots. Like, they could win it. They could finish 3rd or 4th in the Big Ten, and it wouldn't shock me. But again, I think the key is going to be Purdue figuring out that when teams play Zach Edey this way, because they're going to do it over and over now, especially after Nebraska had some success, your other guys have to step up and make plays.
Yep. Matt?
Can we give, and I don't want to mispronounce his name, but the kid from Nebraska, is it Tamanga?
Yeah, I think
that was making all the crazy shots. Can we give him some credit, please?
I think it's Tamanaga.
Yeah. Tamanaga. Can we please give him some credit?
Yes.
Because he was coming off screens and letting it go and letting the crowd hear it and was having so much fun out there. And I think even late in regulation or in overtime, whatever it was, he was open and he was so devastated he didn't get the last shot. And you could see him on the sideline just kind of drop his head into his hands. But man, was that kid fun to watch. Yep. He was putting on a show out there, and the shot making. Listen, the good teams find ways to win. And even if you're the top team in the standings in the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC, whatever it may be, and you go on the road, and I'm not knocking Nebraska here, but you go on the road and you play someone that's not in the top half of the standings or, picked at the bottom, whatever it may be, it's hard to win. And the good teams find ways to win regardless of the circumstance. Game, how's it going? Zach Edey's only got this amount of touches. Nebraska's doing a good job on it, whatever it may be. Man, the best teams find a way to win. Purdue found a way to win that game. But, man, Tamanga, man, he was fun to watch. Just the shot making and the display that he put on that game. But I don't think it's a cause for concern for Purdue at all. They found a way to win the game. And
good teams. I mean, look at who they beat.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Gonzaga, Marquette, West Virginia. You're not going to beat everybody by 15 or 20. They've proven themselves. They can have an off night. They're still really damn good. My daughter texts me after the game. She's like, "You got to move Purdue down." I'm like, "Well, what are you kidding? No, I'm not moving them down. They've proven so much already." And they won, by the way. They won.
Yeah. The only thing that I will say, and I agree with everything you guys are saying. A road game in the Big Ten is a road game in the Big Ten. Nebraska is Nebraska, but they had 14,500 people in that building tonight for like a bad team. The Nebraska fans show up and show out whether or not their team is good or bad for hoops right now. It might even be a basketball school at this point, guys. Is that going too far? It might be going too far. I want to see what now that other coaches are going to see this kind of film. And they're going to see what Nebraska did, especially in the second half, to slow down Edey. What does this change the way that he gets played? Does this change the way that he gets defended? And how does Purdue adjust to it? I think Matt Painter is going to be just fine figuring it out. I'm not worried about Purdue at all. They're probably going to end up taking 4 or 5 losses in the Big Ten. We're going to put out some headlines that overreact because you got to do that on YouTube to get the clicks, but I don't think anybody's actually all that concerned about them. Zach Edey is still the National Player of the Year frontrunner